At its core, Scrum is simple, easy, a Scrum guide which is only 14 pages long, a few events to implement, accountabilities, goals, a Scrum guide which is unprescriptive, but still many teams struggle to implement the Scrum framework and get the benefits of a Scrum framework. I believe that in many companies that are struggling with agility and different Agile frameworks, one of the big culprits has nothing to do with the team. Nothing to do with the team. It's management, upper management, managers, external forces pushing the team or preventing the team from succeeding. Is your company Agile? Was Agile implemented in your company? Is your company using the Scrum framework? Maybe Kanban. How was it implemented? Let me guess, if you Agile coaches, Scrum masters, consultants, maybe a consulting company came to your company to do a report, ask a few questions and do a report of their findings, some recommendations, and then these recommendations were implemented by these people or new Scrum masters that we hired. Maybe we turned the managers, project managers, delivery managers to Scrum masters. We took some other project managers and turned them into product owners, or some business people and turned them into product owners. Created some new job profiles, some new responsibilities. And if the framework which was selected is Scrum, most probably they selected a few teams, maybe 10 people, and started with these teams. Let's implement the Scrum framework with these teams, which is a good idea. What was the goal? What was the purpose? Why were we implementing the Scrum framework, or why are we transforming the company to a more agile approach? Productivity, efficiency, cutting costs, meeting our deadlines more often. That's why we are transforming the organization and we are implementing Scrum with these teams. If that's true, and most companies, this is true. That's how Agile is being implemented. If this is true, you failed from the start simply because there's no way these Scrum teams or any teams where you implement Agile frameworks, practices become instantly more productive, more efficient. That was never the goal. That was never the goal of a Scrum framework. That was never the goal of agility. It's all about effectiveness, value, building the right things that the customers want to use. And sometimes to do that, often we take more time. Let's go back to our main culprit, the external force preventing the team from succeeding. Management, upper management, the directors, do they really understand what will happen when we start implementing Scrum or agility throughout the organization or with a few teams? But these teams might be, in the short term, inefficient, not productive. But the goal here is effectiveness, that the team will be self-managed. Scrum, self-managed teams, cross-functional teams, that they will no longer have control on the team, micromanaging the team. Do we understand that? That they will no longer be able to force unrealistic deadlines on the team. Maybe the team might not even estimate their work. Stop estimating their work. Do they realize what will happen? They don't. Agile is not sold like that. If it was sold like that, maybe many companies wouldn't implement it. Agile is sold for the teams. Consulting companies come. The teams will be more efficient. They will meet their deadlines more often. You, managers, upper management, don't need to worry about it. Agile, Scrum is for the teams. We will make the teams more productive and efficient. You don't need to worry about that. Agile for the teams. This alone, this phrase or mindset alone is a huge misconception and harmful for the team. Causes a lot of issues down the line from external forces, especially external forces who usually have power over the team, managers, upper management. Here are some common examples of external forces preventing the team from being effective. Number one, managers micromanaging the team. Put yourself in the shoes of these external forces, of these managers. For the past 20 years, you've been telling the teams what to do. Now some consultants come and they tell you that we will go agile. Teams will be more efficient. We'll release more often, meet our deadlines more often. But they never told you that you are now a servant leader. You've lost control, complete control on the team. They never told you that. And it's obvious that these people will keep on pushing work to the team. telling the team what to do, what deadline to meet, what feature to work on, as long as someone doesn't tell them that this is no longer acceptable, but the team is self-managed. But the team should be able to decide what to build, how to build it, who builds it, and by when to build it. All these consultants, agile coaches, scrum masters in your organization telling these external forces that they should no longer micromanage the team, but they are now servant leaders. In most companies, no, simply because there's a hierarchy. And these managers of the team are often the managers of the scrum master and agile coaches also. So they don't communicate. It's hard for an agile coach or a scrum master to work with these people because they are not even safe with these people. And remember what we agreed on: agile for the teams, scrum for the teams, management not interested in agility, so they are not interested in changing their mindset. They are not interested in being better. They don't want to change, and as long as they don't change, they will keep on micromanaging the team. There's no way Scrum or any other agile frameworks or practices can work when someone outside the team is telling the team what to work on and by when they should be completing something. Unrealistic, forced deadlines on the team doesn't work. Example number 2. Telling the team to commit on a piece of work, a release date, a delivery date, and not really focusing on the outcome. Now the team is self-managed. These managers understood. In some companies they do. They understand that now the teams are self-managed. They can decide what to build, how to build it, who builds it, and by when to build it. So they let the team estimate the work, commit on the work, and the team provides an estimation. Maybe we believe we will release based on the data we have right now. We believe we will be able to release this feature in 3 months. An email was sent, and these managers will tell the team, you said you would release that in 3 months. You have to release that no matter what. And obviously, these managers throughout these 3 months will try to push things, try to add some new features, implement some changes, but you need to keep this release date. Software development is complex, and we are working in a complex environment. When you put these two together, it's extremely complex. And we are trying when we are estimating. It's a guess, it's a prediction. Nothing says that this needs to be true with the data that we currently have. We don't have a crystal ball. We can't predict the future with the data that we currently have, with experience, the skill, the knowledge that we currently have. We believe we'll be able to release X feature in 3 months. But it's just a guess. It's not even Scrum. It's not even agility. Again, we haven't changed our mindset. The correct approach with agility, with Scrum, focusing, our highest priority is to focus on the customer. In Scrum, sprint goal, product goal. That's the priority. Estimations are not even mentioned. You don't need estimations when using Scrum. You can estimate the work, but it's not a requirement. The sprint goal, the product goal. Agile principle number 1, our highest priority is to satisfy the customer through early, continuous releases of valuable products. But managers haven't changed their mindset. They are still focused on quantity. We need to release X amount by this date. But what about the customer? What about effectiveness? The mindset is still efficiency for the managers. So it hasn't changed. They make you believe that it has changed because they give power to the teams to estimate. But the estimation is a guess. You can't punish the team if they don't release on time. No one cares if they don't release on time. What's important here is that you're building something that the customer wants to use, and they're releasing something as quick as possible to get feedback from the customer. Because again, we believe that the customer wants to use this thing. Example number 3, sustainable pace. Let's read something from the Scrum Guide 2020. Working in sprints at a sustainable pace improves the Scrum team's focus and consistency. Sustainable pace. Focus, consistency. What do managers believe? What do they think about constant, sustainable pace? They don't like that. You tell them that you're doing this amount of velocity every single sprint. They'll tell you why. Why are we not increasing the velocity every single sprint? What is sustainable pace? I don't get it. No, they praise overtime. They praise working after hours. They praise people staying at the office and working. They want to see people at the office. You better not work remotely. Mindset of managers. Again, efficiency, not really effectiveness. Quantity over quality. And as long as we don't work with them, as long as we have this mindset of Agile for the teams, not them, we'll never succeed. Sustainable pace will never be achieved because we are always pushing the team, resulting low morale, unmotivated employees, developers. If you want more tips, insights on Agile, Scrum, personal growth, click on the video that stands out the most on the screen right now, and I'll see you in a few seconds.